Swing and a miss, strike three. Deep to center field. This ball's crushed. We welcome you on this Sunday afternoon to downtown Houston, where today, inside Minute Maid Park, the Houston Astros wrap up their series with the Seattle Mariners. More important, Justin Verlander will make his Astros debut at home. More important than that, the Astros can wrap up a division. They have a magic number of 1. A win today will make the Astros American League West Division champions. And they could be title holders for the first time in 16 years. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Should be a fun day of baseball. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us for this, what could be division clinching game. And Blummer, last night the Astros got to that point of being on the precipice with a big win in the middle game of this series, and they continue to play good baseball against Seattle.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they're ignoring what's around them other than what's right in front of them. That's the Seattle Mariners right now. Big series for them. They knew in order to clinch that playoff spot and win the division, they have to go out there and win. And why not control your own destiny? Taking the first 2 or 3, and now they've got Justin Verlander out there.
And in that game last night, they reached the 90-win plateau, something we haven't seen here in 13 years.
Yeah, these guys are very good. First time since 04 that they've been to that 90-win plateau. Good times. It's always good looking back. The Astros have a strong history of winning division titles. I think what's great about this one is this will be the 3rd division that they've won a division title in. It's amazing. They started out winning a division in the National League Central, National League West, then to the National League Central, and now an opportunity for the American League West.
Yeah, first time in the AL possibly, and it's been a while. 2001 wrapped up a string of winning 4 titles in 5 years.
Yeah, it's nice, and they are doing it on the road, winning that division title the last time in 2001. Here, an opportunity to do it here at Minute Maid Park. Not only would it be that first division title in 15, 16 years, and that would be the first time they've actually won a title here at Minute Maid Park.
Couple of wild card clinchers here, but they've never had a division title clinching game inside Minute Maid Park. The last time that happened, as Blummer mentioned, the Astrodome in 1999. Kind of fitting as the storylines go that Justin Verlander acquired after the trade deadline, right before the rosters had to be set for the postseason, and he gets the start today. So everybody excited when Verlander joined the team. What's the mood of the club today with the possibility of a clinch? We welcome in Julia Morales for that.
Hey guys, yeah, starting with the fans who are behind me and making their way in. What an exciting vibe that is in Minute Maid Park. They know what's on the line. They know that they could be a part of history today, and these players do too. They were in the clubhouse. The clubhouse was packed this morning, which is rare to see on a day game, but these guys know what's at stake. They know that magic number is at 1 right now, and they had parties last night to watch the fight as well as keep an eye on that score to see what the situation would be coming into today. But they know, it's a good chance for them to look back as well on what they've done to get to this point. The goal right now is to win the division title, beat the Seattle Mariners, not look beyond that. And I think that's very important, but that goes to what this team has done all season long. Playing one game at a time, that is coming through right now for this club, and they need one game here in order to get that AL West title. A very good vibe though, Todd.
Yeah, you know what? It's a chance, Julia. Thank you very much for that Blummer. They could have wrapped things up last night if the Angels had lost, but kind of fitting that they can go ahead and earn it.
Yeah, you want it. In order to get in, you got to win, and that's what they want.
That's been their slogan all year long, earn it. And today, Justin Verlander, his first home start as an Astro, will try and get things done. We'll also harken back to some memories of clinching days in the past as we roll on a Sunday afternoon from Minute Maid Park. AT&T SportsNet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. In addition to everything else, it's Dog Day here at Minute Maid Park. When we come back, lineups in the first pitch. Astros on the precipice of clinching the American League Western Division title. They need just a win today with Justin Verlander on the mound, and here's the lineup he will face for the Mariners. Gene Segura leads off at shortstop, followed by the right fielder Mitch Haniger. Robinson Cano is at second base. Nelson Cruz DHs. Kyle Seager at third base. Yonder Alonso at first. Mike Zunino behind the plate. Ben Gamble is the left fielder, and Guillermo Heredia is in center.
On the mound for the Houston Astros, Justin Verlander. Been an interesting start to his Houston Astro career. The first start out, he said it felt like opening day last time he faced the Seattle Mariners in Seattle. And then he was out in Los Angeles trying to stop a skid the Astros were on coming out of Oakland. Now he has an opportunity to clinch a division title for the Houston Astros in the start here today, which will mark his first start as an Astro in Minute Maid Park.
Kind of fitting that the guy who they acquired to kind of push this team over the top has a chance to put this team into the postseason. He has pitched in plenty of clinchers in his career, both in the regular season and in the postseason, and was very successful during that time with the Tigers. He'll face the Mariners for the second time in 3 starts. We are underway on a Sunday afternoon with a fastball for a called strike. Crowd is energized today early on the first pitch, not only because it's Justin Verlander's Astros debut, because they also know they could be a part of history that they haven't witnessed in 16 years. Verlander misses the corner. It's 1-1. Justin working once again with Brian McCann, as he did in his first 2 starts with the Astros.
Pitched well back in Seattle against the Mariners, going 6 strong. Gave up 1 earned run through 103 pitches. That 103rd pitch came in at 99 miles an hour. Last pitch of that game, that is. Not that last pitch.
He got better as the game went along. Same thing in that second start, although he was never really bad in that start in Anaheim. After allowing a base hit to start the game, he did not allow a hit the rest of the way. Over 8 innings of work. So walk and a hit batsman. It was a brilliant outing when the Astros needed it most. They were scuffling after losing 4 in Oakland. Verlander has put his team into the postseason with the Tigers in 2006 as a rookie. Did it again 8 years later in 2014. It's inside, it's 2-2. Astros winning the first 2 games of this series against the Seattle team that had just won 3 in a row to wrap up their series in Texas. Two pitch into center field. On the move, Springer. He's going to get there. And we're underway with a fly ball to center field.
Got some pitch usage on Justin Verlander. It's going to be presented to you by AT&T. Fastball. He is heavy on that fastball throughout the course of the season. Can vary in velocity from 92 to 99 like we saw the last time out against the Seattle Mariners. Secondary pitch he goes to is a slider. Batting average against that pitch is .231. Also has a curveball he'll throw occasionally. That 4th option is the changeup. Interesting about that slider, some scouting reports will misconstrue that also as a cutter because he can throw the slider relatively hard.
Everything out of his hands seems to have a little extra velocity. You're right about that. The cutter comes in a little bit higher at 91, 92. But he hardly ever throws a cutter. It's always a slider.
Power slider.
Power slider. The changeup really hasn't been in play for him. Over 2 starts with the Astros. He's thrown only 2 of them out of 215 pitches in his first 2 starts. Mitch Haniger hit a home run at the end of the game for the Mariners last night. Made it an 8-6 game. That's where it would end as Joe Musgrove picked up his first career save. This is popped up. Gurriel and Reddick will converge. It's Yuli's play for out number 2. Good crowd on this Sunday. Many are taking pictures and video, knowing that this could be the Astros' first division title since 2001. Looking for their 7th overall division title. 80, 86, and that great run from 97 through 99, and then 4 out of 5 years, wrapping up in 2001. But today they go for an American League Division title for the first time. Robinson Cano bats with 2 outs and the base is empty.
Yeah, not only are they going for that third different division title, also second league.
Yeah.
Haven't won anything in the American League yet. Had that wild card in 2015.
Beginning of the year, the Astros were amongst the favorites, if not the favorite in the division. But I don't think anybody predicted that before the end of May, A.J. Hinch's team would be out by 10 games or more, and then never looking back.
Never.
They raced to the All-Star break, 31 games over 500. At one point got as high as 34 games over 500. Starting today's play, the Astros winning 90 games and losing 58. They're just 2 behind their high point of the season at 32 games over. Cano down in the count 1-2. The energy in the clubhouse, in the dugout, was good before Justin Verlander and Cameron Maven arrived, but it definitely received the boost once this MVP, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young Award winner joined the team. It's the outside corner. The fans wanting that call, but it was off the plate. Rob Drake is the home plate umpire today. Strikes out Robinson Cano. A 1-2-3 first inning with all fastballs but one pitch. And George Springer will lead things off for the Astros. Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. George Springer leads things off, followed by Josh Reddick. Had a big game again yesterday. Carlos Correa in the 3 spot. Marwin Gonzalez playing second base and hitting cleanup. No Jose Altuve today. Carlos Beltran DHs. Alex Bregman at third base. Brian McCann behind the plate. Yuli Gurriel is at first base, and Derek Fisher, that's ninth and left.
Andrew Moore on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. He's had an interesting last couple of outings. Started against the Astros back in Seattle. George flying out to center field to start this ball game on the first pitch. In that game against Houston back in Seattle, he went 6 strong, scattered 3 hits, gave up 2 earned runs. His next inning was on the 11th, but that was in relief. He also went 6 innings, giving up 1 earned run against the Texas Rangers. In those 6 innings, he had 7 punch outs in relief. So back in that rotation with Ariel Miranda coming out of the rotation.
He definitely earned his spot based on that last outing out of the bullpen. Just 1 hit in those 6 innings as he faces Josh Reddick. Reddick with another strong game at home yesterday. Couple of base hits, couple of RBIs. He was on base 3 times. Reddick fouls one away. Moore ahead of the count 0-2.
Yeah, Andrew Moore's not going to overwhelm you. Fastball averaging 91 miles an hour. Also mixes up his secondary pitches between the changeup, curveball, and slider.
He's thrown the changeup a little more the last 2 outings, including against the Astros when they saw him up in Seattle. On the year, throws it about 18% of the time, but the last 2 outings he's up to 28% with a changeup. Missed with that changeup there. It's a 1-2 count to Josh Reddick. Now he tries the breaking ball. Curveball comes in around 75. He bounces that in there. It's 2-2. Reddick continues to rake here at Minute Maid Park, adding a smooth 358 in this ballpark.
I thought you were just going to say continues to rake. He's had himself a heck of a year at 316.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, you could have stopped right there.
Solid.
Career year.
Yep.
He's about to get his career high in RBIs, just 3 shy of that. He leads the team in RBIs with 82. Saw Bregman talking with Jose Altuve. Altuve with a day off today, scheduled day off. They get him 2 in a row. Scheduled day off tomorrow will be the Astros' last day off of the season. Reddick, why not? Another base hit at Minute Maid Park. Josh Reddick, a 1-out base runner in the bottom of the first.
It is time to play, and it is brought to you by Toyota. A couple of main cogs in this lineup for the Houston Astros are George Springer, who leads them off, and Carlos Correa usually hits fourth, but with Altuve out hitting in that 3-hole. These guys get going, it is going to be very good down the stretch for the Houston Astros. In the last 2 games, they are combined 6 for 15, 3 RBIs. But what I love is these guys are getting on base via the hit and the walk, and they're scoring runs.
We've mentioned from the beginning of the season, from the beginning of spring training, how Carlos Correa likes the moment. Today would be a good day to see that first home run since coming back from the DL.
That's how you encourage your superstar status, is by coming through in big moments.
Pitch into Carlos, who has done much better his last 7 games. Struggled the first 6 off the DL, hitting 115. The last 7, though, hitting at 308. Correa moving up with Altuve having the day off. Tries to bust him in again and misses the plate. It's 2-0. Now it's 3-0. Astros trying to win a 7th division title. They also won 90 games for the 7th time in franchise history. Looking for number 91 today. And there's a called strike. It's 3-1.
Dare him to throw that same pitch again. Almost looked like Carlos was looking at that pitch just to size it up and make sure he knows what to do with it if he gets it again.
Seven's the magic number today. 7 division titles, 7 90-win seasons. Justin Verlander looking to wrap up his 3rd playoff clinching start of his career. Foul tip, it's 3-2. Not every division title coincided with a 90-win season. 2014 won 90 games, and the 1997 division winners did not win 90. Reddick on the move. 3-2 pitch popped high in the air on the infield. Segura takes charge, and there's 2 away.
Just missed it. Maybe a hair too quick and clipped under it. Popped it up.
More work back from a 3-0 count to get Carlos Correa. Now he will face Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin had a couple of RBIs against him in that game up in Seattle. Astros had an opportunity last night to have the division clinched for them. If the Angels would have been losers in that game against Texas, Angels won that game, and in the process they moved to within one game in the wild card picture behind Minnesota. But I think to a man, most Astros wanted to come out here and try and win it to celebrate on the field.
A couple of things. Celebrations are always better when you win it and earn your way in, like you were talking about in our open. Number two, nobody wants to root for the Rangers in order to get that division clinching position.
Good point. That's a good point. The Rangers were losers for the second straight night to the Angels, and they've lost 5 in a row, and they're in some serious jeopardy now. 4 games under 500. It's almost become a 2-team race, although the Mariners are the next closest, 3.5 games back. Still 2 weeks to play. Regular season ending 2 weeks from today. Chop foul. It's 2-1. 23-year-old Andrew Moore out of North Eugene, Oregon. Went to Oregon State. Appeared in a major league game for the first time this June 22nd. They've used 17 pitchers this year as starters, have the Mariners. They weren't anticipating Moore would be one of them. He started the year at Double-A. And he accomplished everything they were looking for at the Double-A and Triple-A level. And when injuries decimated the staff, he was called on in late June, and he is now starting a big game for them in September. There's a line drive to left field, hit hard, but so hard that Ben Gamble closes in to make the catch for the final out. Marwin hits it on a line to left for the final out of the first.
That is presented by Xfinity. It's coming out of the right arms of some of the Houston Astros. Starters, 3-0 record in their last 3 starts with a 1.50 ERA. Started with Brad Peacock back there in Los Angeles, backed up by Charlie Morton, doing a great job to open up the series against the Seattle Mariners. And Dallas Keuchel, that left arm, getting back into that early season shape, pitching well for the Houston Astros, going 6 strong, setting them up for this potential division clinching game for Justin Verlander.
Verlander facing Nelson Cruz to lead off the second inning and starts him with a fastball for a strike. Yesterday was vintage Keuchel again, as he kept putting the ball on the ground against the Mariners. Picked up 12 outs on the ground, 4 strikeouts of his 18 outs. Mr. Cruz, it's 1-1. The Mariners seeing the combination of Dallas Keuchel and Justin Verlander for the second time in 3 starts. They got the combo of Keuchel, Verlander, McCullers up in Seattle, and in this series they faced Charlie Morton, then Keuchel and Verlander. So luck of the draw against the Mariners in terms of facing the top of the rotation for the Astros in back-to-back series.
Get used to it. Could be seeing that for a couple more years. Justin Verlander under contract as an Astro for a couple more years. Pretty good pitch, catching that outside edge on our Andy Anderson strike zone, just not getting the call from Rob Drake.
Now the count's full. Cruz coming in batting .287, up to his American League lead in the RBI category with an RBI yesterday. It's 110th. Sends this one to center field. Springer cuts over, puts it away. Out number 1. Verlander retiring the first 4 Mariners, 1 out in the second. Here's Kyle Seager. His numbers against Justin Verlander are pretty good. He's the only one that's accounted for a run against Verlander in 2 starts plus an inning and a third. He hit a solo home run in the 4th inning of Verlander's start in Seattle. Opposite way, foul ball. Long run for Bregman, but he runs out of room. And it's 0-1.
I think he was running over there to look for a snack. It was a long way to go just for a ball that was about 6 or 7 rows deep.
Unfortunately, nobody in the front row had a snack.
Got to do that on Wednesdays.
Dollar dogs?
Yeah, better opportunity.
See where Bregman is in the shift. That's why he had so far to go for no result that he was looking for. Plummer set a few rows back. There's a called strike. It's 0-2. Verlander's not the only guy Seager's been hitting home runs against. He has 6 home runs in his last 13 games. And he had a home run in every one of those games against the Astros up in Seattle. 0-2 pitches fouled back.
Seager's got an interesting line now with those 31 doubles. He has 25 home runs to go along with it. 5 seasons of 30-plus doubles, 20-plus home runs. A solid force for the Seattle Mariners as far as extra base hits and slugging percentage.
You got the headliners, Cano and Cruz. Sometimes Seager has sneaky good numbers. And that speaks to it, what you were just talking about. 1-2 the count. This is a lineup that has scored more runs here at Minute Maid Park than anybody else in the AL West this year, averaging close to 5 runs a game in this ballpark. Center field, Springer getting a workout out there. Made a catch in the first, and now he has 2 catches in the 2nd inning. Catch one of the best ballpark bargains with Coca-Cola Value Nights. This offer includes a ticket, hot dog, soda, and popcorn during select weekday games for just $18. Visit astros.com/Coke Value for tickets and info. 2 outs, bases cleared. The Astros will shift with the left-hand hitting Yonder Alonso at the plate. See Bregman again over, like he was against Seager. Not only does 2001 represent the last time the Astros won a division title, it's also the year that the Seattle Mariners last made the postseason. They have suffered through the longest drought since then. This was one of those years, you look at this team and the way they are built, where they really had a shot to be contenders. Still could. They're 3.5 back in the wild card race, but they just couldn't find a string of healthy weeks, let alone months. Scott Service has seen his team, and everybody's had injuries, but they have really had some long, devastating injuries to their team this year.
Yeah, Jerry DiPoto's got the unlimited data plan because he's made 7,852 transactions, it feels like, this season. Filling some of those voids, calling guys up, making trades like crazy. Might have been a mild exaggeration on my part. I apologize.
You're close. You're within a couple hundred. You saw King down there, Felix Hernandez. He just came back off the DL. We saw James Paxton. It wasn't quite the same James Paxton we've seen before. He just came off the DL. But if those guys had stayed healthy, who knows?
Oh, yeah. Those two at the top of that rotation, especially the way Paxton broke out of the gates for the Seattle Mariners rotation. My goodness.
2-2 on Alonso. Swing and a miss. He got him. That is a 2nd strikeout for Verlander. He ends both innings with a K.
And in the last 2 innings on strikeouts, this is a slider inside, getting the swing over the top from Alonso. Is going to be driven by your Texas Ford dealers. Carlos Beltran coming up. Hits as a left-handed batter since September 6th. A couple of them going right back up the middle to the pull side. Some off-speed pitches he's been able to yank to right field, but he's come up with some big knocks here in recent weeks, days. If you get this bat going around and some of that veteran leadership in that clubhouse going into the playoffs, that would be a nice little boost to the Houston Astros.
Well, last night was a good night, or yesterday afternoon was a good game for Carlos with a 3-hit performance. Had a couple of hits against the starter Erasmo Ramirez, and then one against the right-hander Nick Vincent. So 3 hits left-handed. It has that left-handed average up above 250. It's a 252 now on the year. Overall 236. Beltran down to the count 0-2. It'll be Carlos, Alex Bregman, and Brian McCann. Carlos looking to return to the postseason with the Astros for the first time in 13 years.
He's got to be excited about it. He's a huge part of that 2014.
Popped up. Zanino, the catcher, calls for it. Puts it away in foul territory. And Beltran retired for the first out of the second inning.
And just to linger a little bit on Carlos Beltran and the veteran experience, I know that if you asked him, he'd probably say he hasn't had the year he's wanted. But at the same time, it's not, I don't think anybody expected him to be that ultimate offensive team leader. He was to come in, help out some of these young Latin kids, help out some of these young kids like Alex Bregman, show them how to play a 162-game season. But if you can get that every once in a while spark from him in a postseason game, or have him up in a clutch situation where he's not going to be overwhelmed and he can get that big hit, that's where the true offensive value will be in Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, he is like a combination player coach on this team.
Yeah, who has the ability to jump you and get a big hit, drive in a run.
We saw that bat come alive last night. I was looking at his numbers from 04. They're just silly. His postseason numbers are absolutely ridiculous.
They're legendary.
He still has the Major League Baseball record for most runs scored in the playoffs at 21. And they didn't get to the World Series. Here's a line drive base hit to right field.
Yeah, so there was still damage to be done.
There are teams that play a lot more games than Carlos Beltran did that year, playing a dozen games, 5-game series and 7-game series. And he still has the record with 21 runs scored in those 12 games. Base hit to right field, snaps it 0 for 12 for Alex Bregman.
He was doing it all too. Base hits, doubles, home runs, stealing bags, scoring.
His slugging percentage was over 1,000.
That's ridiculous. So maybe he didn't get any base hits. He just got doubles and homers.
Here's Brian McCann. McCann chops one foul. We've seen better at-bats from McCann since coming back from the DL. He's reached his 12 of 13 games and hitting .325 during that stretch. McCann, just like his former Yankee teammate Carlos Beltran, trying to get back again to the postseason, and he hits one through the shift. Robinson Cano was not deep in the shift as they were trying to think about a double play. That aided Brian McCann as he was able to scoop one by Robinson Cano for a base hit.
Get these veteran bats going. Brian McCann is one of them, doing a good job working with some of these pitchers. And I agree with you in the sense that at least maybe lay out and try and knock it down, because even if Cano gets a glove on it, no offense to the speedy Brian McCann, but if you knock it down and you have a chance and you keep it in the vicinity, you might actually have a play trying to come back to first to get Brian.
Here is Yuli Gurriel, the always aggressive right-hand hitter. He takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Astros threatening, first and second, 1 out. Astros have jumped out to good leads against the Mariners in the first 2 games of the series. Led 4-0 on Friday night. Led 6-0 yesterday afternoon. I'd like to see Yuli put them on the board first here. Out away, it's 1-2. Yuli coming in at 291, 17 home runs, 36 doubles.
Yeah, one swing of the bat could put him at that 70 plateau as far as RBIs.
upstairs. It's 2-2. Now the count's full. Astros have been able to get into the Mariners bullpen early in both games of this series. First game, James Paxton was on a pitch count. It only lasted 1 out into the second. And then yesterday, 3 batters into the 5th with nobody out. Erasmo Ramirez was taken out of the game.
I'd be nervous too trying to throw this next pitch. Got a good feeling about it.
I like it. Trying to hold up, and he goes around. Tried to check his swing on a pitch that was down and away. First base umpire Phil Cuzzy says he offered at it. That's a strikeout for Moore.
Good location. You'll see it on our Mattress Firm Supermo. Good 4-seam down and away. Yuli was thinking 4-seam fastball, just didn't like the location. Borderline.
So Moore picks up his first strikeout, and now 2 outs. He'll face Derek Fisher. Fisher had one of, if not the biggest hit of the game yesterday, with 2 outs and 2 on. Had a double the other way in the second inning that led to a 4-run inning. Springer and Reddick followed with RBI base hits. Derek ended up with a couple of doubles in that game. On the ground towards first. Glove there by Yonder Alonso, who beats Fisher to the bag for the final out. So 2 hits, 2 left on.
Look at our Chevy Stroh poll. Make sure you're following us at AT&T SportsNet SW. That way you can play along and vote which Astros division title era is your all-time favorite. So we've got 1980, we've got 1986, 97 through 99 when they won 3 straight titles, or 2001 clinching on the last day on the road at St. Louis there. Talking to several of these guys who are, the excitement is building. They know the magic number's down to 1, but it's very interesting to talk to guys like Cameron Maybin, who's been around a long time. And he said, this is my first opportunity to do this. They finished second when he was with Detroit 1 year, but that's as close as he's gotten. And he's one of those guys that come in with a veteran presence, have the experience, have the stories, but not for the postseason. So this is just a really exciting time for him. And then he sits right next to Carlos Beltran, someone you guys were just talking about, who's been to the playoffs 6 times already and was trying to remember if it was wild cards or division titles. He's been to so many in his career, but still never gets old for him. As he says, I know that I've been to the playoffs a lot, but it is very special if you find yourself on a team that finds its way into the postseason. Todd?
Yeah, very special, and you have to think about it from a vantage point like a guy like Cameron Maybin, 11th season, has never been to the postseason. Sometimes you're in a winning atmosphere and you take it for granted. There are some players that play their entire career and don't get to the big dance.
It's amazing. It's truly unbelievable because you get some of these superstars. There's guys in the Hall of Fame that haven't played in a World Series and some playoff games. So it is a very special moment, and I love the fact that you've got guys on this team like a Verlander and a Carlos Beltran who have been there, yet they still cherish the moments.
Yeah, there will be some fun celebrating going on when this finally does happen. So I have to ask Julia, are you ready?
Am I ready?
What's your preparation? Last time we saw you 2 years ago, I think it was a plastic bag. Is that correct?
We just tried to cover my dress with some sort of plastic, but that did nothing for me. I don't even know why I wore it the entire time, because we were down there a very long time. I wore waterproof mascara this time around. I just tweeted a couple of pictures looking back to that day, and you think you're prepared, you think you have it figured out, and then you get down there in the trenches and realize it's a total war zone. Nobody's safe. And so just looking back, I know a lot of people took screenshots of me as the day went on, and it just got worse and worse. But really, it's just a special moment for anyone who gets to cover that, and especially for us who watch these guys work so hard all season long and get to talk to them about something that they've dreamed about their entire lives, really, for a lot of these guys. So I'm prepped as much as I can be.
High fly ball deep to right field. Reddick going back, climbing the wall, but this is into the Astros bullpen for a home run. Ben Gamble hits a solo home run after Justin Verlander had retired the first 7 Mariners, and the first hit of the game results in the first run.
He hasn't had many opportunities against Justin Verlander, but he has some success. Came into this game hitting .375. This is similar to the pitch that Kyle Seager hit out in Seattle. It was a little bit of a slider breaking ball coming back into the swing of the left-hander. When Justin's effective with that pitch, he can bury it in on the hands.
2 runs allowed by Verlander. And now his 3rd start as an Astro have been solo home runs by the Mariners. Here's Guillermo Heredia. Heredia takes a called strike. Heredia batting .257. The numbers this month aren't as good. In fact, if you go back his last 26 games, he's batting .145. And Verlander ahead 0-2 as he paints the corner. Slider misses away. It's 1-2. Verlander facing Seattle for the 24th time in his career. Already just barely stays alive. Seattle coming in 1 game under 500. They wrap up their road trip today. They are 3-3 on this trip. 3-1 against the Rangers, 0-2 in this series. Got in on the hands, popped him up. Correa backs up. Fisher is there just in case, but Carlos has it under control. And there's 2 away.
Make your mark at Minute Maid Park with the Astros commemorative brick program. Purchase a brick with customized messaging that will welcome fans into the ballpark each season. Order your brick now at astros.com/bricks.
With 2 outs. Base is empty after the solo home run by Ben Gamble, and here's Gene Segura, top of the order. Verlander in his 13th season, trying to get to the postseason for the 6th time. And for him, it'll be the first time since 2014. September 24th of that year, he pitched the clinching game. 8 innings, 7 hits, 1 run as the Tigers wrapped up a playoff spot. That was a 6-1 win over the White Sox. Today he tries to pitch the Astros into the postseason with a division title. Pitch misses to Segura. It's 1-2. In addition to 2 regular season clinchers, he pitched Game 5 against the Oakland A's, knocking them out in back-to-back American League Division Series in 2012 and 2013. 17 innings. Swing and a miss. He gets Segura. 4 strikeouts for Verlander, 2 in the inning, but a solo home run gives the M's a 1-0 lead.
Welcome you back. Shiner Buck spotlight falls on these Houston Astros and their last 5 games right here at Minute Maid Park. 5-game win streak here at Minute Maid Park this series, and of course dating back to the Mets, this is what they've done. 7.4 runs per game is what they're averaging. 5 homers, 17 doubles, and this team's been good all season, but we've talked a lot about what they've been able to do on the road and how amazing those numbers have been. So for them to turn it around and put those crazy numbers up right here at home is good for, of course, the fans, but good for this club too, who wanted to be able to put up the offensive numbers that they could on the road right here at home as well. So let's make it 6 today. Todd?
That sounds good to me, Julia, as George Springer leads things off bottom half of the 3rd inning. Astros trailing 1-0. Top of the order, Springer, Josh Reddick, and Carlos Correa facing Andrew Moore the second time through. And Moore starts off Springer with a couple of breaking balls for strikes. Last start from Moore came against the Astros, and he got through them the first time through the lineup, as Springer sends one into right field. That's put away by Haniger for out number 1. Start in Seattle, the Astros able to get to him second time through the lineup for a couple of runs.
And these guys know, everybody in that clubhouse knows what today means if they go out there and win. So there's going to be some nerves maybe that first time through the order. Like you said, this is the second time facing Andrew Moore. They got to him that second time around in that lineup. So hopefully these guys settle down a little bit, get in the rhythm of the game, and start to throw the barrel around like Julia was talking about.
Here's Reddick. He has 1 of the 3 hits today. Taking a pitch outside. It's 2-0. Reddick with a career year going. Most doubles ever. The season ended now. He'd set his career marks in slugging, on base percentage, and OPS.
Got some league leaders. They're going to be brought to you by Houston Methodist. Home batting average on the season in the American League. Josh Reddick, .352, leading the way above other American League hitters. Talked about his fan base growing real quick here in Houston. A lot of it has to do with the success he's had in this building.
Amazing there's a league leaders in batting average, and Altuve's not on there.
That's Great point.
That's how good he's been on the road this year. 2-2 pitch the other way to left. Gamble in front of the warning track makes the play for out number 2. So the Astros putting the ball in the air today. Only 1 ground out. That was the ground out by Derek Fisher to end the second. 2 outs, base is cleared, and Carlos Correa will bat. He takes a called strike. Into center field. Heredia covers a lot of ground out there, and he puts it away for the final out. 3 fly balls, 1 to each outfielder, and a 1-2-3 third for Andrew Moore. The 4th inning. Oh, is entertaining. A little bit and air bit. The inflatable orbits. In between innings of this 1-0 game. A lot going on here on a Sunday.
Oh, his new orbit was full of hot air.
Well played. Hey, Julia's not the only one that's going to be in that mix for postseason celebration.
Yeah. I will be fortunate again to get down there and mix it up. Get some interviews with the boys as they're enjoying some of the champagne celebration. I'm looking forward to it.
Plummer's hair didn't even get messed up.
That's impossible. Mitch Haniger flies out to right.
I did good for a very long time. I stood on the outskirts and kind of like reached in and grabbed the guy every once in a while. But eventually George Springer caught on to my act and got in behind me and let me have it. So I am ready, but she is correct. For a long while there, I was pretty much dry the entire time. But of course, George is the guy that's going to be in there mixing it up.
Of course. He will be a big part of the celebration. Hopefully today, in case you're just joining us, the magic number is 1. Astros win. They clinched the AL West. If for some reason the Astros are unable to win here, then the Angels could still potentially lose their game starting in just about a half an hour. So we would hang around potentially for another celebration. If it happens that way, we might have a little programming in between. We'll let you know as we get closer to the end of the game. But if there's a celebration today, you will see it on AT&T SportsNet.
I was nervous. It was really like the first time I've had to be the interviewer.
That was your first time as the guy asking the question?
Yeah, like an impromptu live interview type session. Yeah, Julia is the salty veteran and gets it done, making it look easy, and I was the one in full panic.
I told that it went outstandingly well.
Well, thanks to the support staff that was around me and our producer yelling at me in my ear, just grab somebody. And I said, I did. And then all of a sudden, you know, it went really well. It was a lot of fun to be down there and watch those guys celebrate. I mean, there's something special to be a part of it, but there's also something special in watching, you know, somebody that you've watched throughout the course of the season enjoy the benefit of their success.
Little ground ball to Yuli Gurriel. Verlander there to cover. And there's 2 away in the 4th. Don't want to toot your own horn, but I believe, well, go ahead, Robinson Cano and Nelson Cruz.
Well, the Astros being successful against this ball club has a lot to do with shutting these 2 guys down. I think what they've done this season and holding them to a 230 and 203 average is the big deal, because before this season, they had some real issues. They had to score a lot of runs to try and beat up on these Mariners because Cano and Cruz were a couple of guys providing a great deal of thump in the middle of this lineup.
Cano hit 9 home runs last year.
Yeah, it was severe, to say the least.
Fortunately, this year has not been as good, as Verlander retires Cano on the ground out after striking him out. But I believe going back to the beginning of the last road trip, you predicted Sunday.
Yeah. I circled it on the calendar.
The 17th, and here we are, Sunday the 17th.
Yeah. Is there anything else you need?
I like it. That was a perfect projection.
That was before I knew that Verlander was going to be starting on this day too. He's really kind of helping my cause a little bit. Get these bats going like they have been the last 5 home games, and we'll be well set.
One of the things you said then that is obviously in play today, it's almost the perfect day to clinch, because you can go out, have your fun, knowing tomorrow's a day off.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have your fun at the ballpark, but then you can kind of wander around the city a little bit, pick your favorite spots, and I'm sure the local vendors that you happen to frequent a lot will be more than happy to have a division champion in their establishment. And if you get overserved a little bit, you can sleep it off tomorrow.
Sleep it off. Taxis and Ubers are in play.
Oh. I'll even pass out my account info if these guys need it.
1-2 the count on Cruz. Fans trying to cheer on Verlander to finish off this inning with a strikeout. Does not get the chase there. And it's 2-2. Verlander's 6 innings of 1-run baseball against the Mariners on the 5th of this month in his Astros debut. Picked up his 11th win. 8 brilliant innings of 1-hit shutout baseball in his last start in Los Angeles against the Angels, in Anaheim, I should say. Picked up his 12th win. A little soft line drive over the head of Marwin Gonzalez as Nelson Cruz serves one into right. Not your typical boomstick hit, but it works for a 2-out base runner.
Good slider off the outside edge. Just enough for the end of the bat to sneak that over Marwin Gonzalez's head.
Normally this guy, other than big boys like Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, has the highest exit velocity, but that one was well placed. So here's Kyle Seager with 2 outs. Seager flied out to center field his first time up. Just in 14 pitches in the first, 16 in the second, 17 in the third. And he's thrown 10 pitches this inning. There's a strike. He's ahead of Seager, 0-2. Down and in, 1-2 to Seager. Miss. It's 2-2.
Good pitch. Tough pitch to take if you're a hitter. Seager might have gotten fooled. I wonder if Rob Drake did too. That is just absolutely perfectly placed down and in. And again, I really feel like umpires don't give the benefit of the doubt to the pitch because the ball is breaking down out of the zone, or appears to be breaking down out of the zone. But that was a great location.
He has been filling up the strike zone, 42 strikes out of 60 pitches. And it looked like he may have had a called third strike there. Instead it's 2-2. And now he gets a swinging strike. Strikeout number 5 for Verlander. He has at least one in every inning. And we're through 3.5 in a 1-0 Seattle lead. Marwin Gonzalez will lead things off for the Astros in the bottom half of the fourth. AT&T SportsNet on social media, from player and team stats to trivia and behind-the-scenes photos. Find us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest on the Astros all season long. Dog Day, hopefully clinch day as well. Astros fans in attendance on this Sunday afternoon. Marwin Gonzalez leads things off. He drove in 2 against Andrew Moore in that game up in Seattle. Facing him for the second time, hit the ball hard his last time, lining out to left field. Kevin Eschenfelder referred to this before the game. You really feel good for everybody involved on this 2017 team, but especially the guys that were here for the 111 losses in 2013.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrible to go through those seasons, but if they're able to stick with this ball club like the Marwin Gonzalez's, Jose Altuve, Dallas Keuchel, those guys, and they actually get to hang around and reap the benefit of sticking through those seasons and watching the team kind of form around them is a lot of fun to watch. And these guys do appreciate when they have these winning seasons and the ability to clinch and get to the playoffs.
Dallas pitched outstanding baseball last night, yesterday afternoon, to put the Astros right on the cusp of wrapping up a division title. Marwin tried to hold up on an 0-2 pitch. He does. It's 1-2. Andrew Moore allowed 3 hits the first couple of innings, but nobody has reached past second base. At a 1-2-3 third inning, he's retired the last 5. How's that Pena going to do in the celebration? This is a ball to left field, playing it off the wall is Gamble, and bounces high off the wall and away from the left fielder. Marwin cruises into second base with a double. He's hit the ball hard twice today.
Get things going. It's a good swing from Marwin. He hit a bullet the other way, going with fastball away from Andrew Moore. They've been staying away, and he stays on it. That was a changeup. That gives you an idea of how well he kept his hands back in order to drive that ball high off that left field wall, staying back on the changeup. That was beautifully done.
Astros trying to figure out a way to get their first run across against Andrew Moore. And that'll bring up Carlos Beltran. Beltran's thinking about at least moving the runner. Takes the pitch down and in for a ball, 1-0. Carlos popped up his first time up. In the air to right field. Not deep enough for Marwin to tag. He'll bluff, but he won't go anywhere as Haniger makes the throw. Well, Beltran flies out to right for the first out. That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Bregman a base hit his first time up. Bregman, like Yuli Gurriel, debuting last year. They are looking for their first major league postseason time. Alex takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Toward third. Seager has it on a couple of hops. Bregman retired for the second out. After a leadoff double, Moore getting a couple of outs without Marwin Gonzalez moving up a base. And it'll be up to Brian McCann. Not only are the Astros trying to wrap up a division title today for the first time in 16 years, they're also still in search of that #1 seed in the American League for the best record. Currently trailing the Indians by a game and a half in that department. Indians leading today 2-0 against Kansas City. Pitch in on McCann, almost hits him. It's 1-0. McCann's been to the postseason 5 times, including his rookie year in 2005 with the Braves. 4 appearances with Atlanta, and then 2 years ago with the Yankees. McCann and Beltran, part of that Yankees team that lost to the Astros in the wild card game a couple of years ago. Pitches fouled back. Three and one. McCann rips it, but a little ahead of it. Nice catch by a fan to the front row on that foul ball.
If you're going to get great seats, see some action potentially on foul balls, why not bring the glove? Just had a little bit more range than that young man to his left.
Good effort by that young fan, too. Moore making his 8th start of his major league career, 10th appearance overall. He's on a run of 9 2/3 innings where he's only allowed 5 hits in a run. Towards the middle, but they are shaded that way with a shortstop Segura, who puts it away for the final out. One man left on base. It's still 1-0 Seattle. AT&T SportsNet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By the all-new 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best limited truck warranty. See dealer for warranty details. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for just $3.99 for a limited time only. We move to the 5th inning. 1-0 game. Justin Verlander hasn't exactly had a lot of run support in his 3 starts with the Astros. Took a Cameron Maybin 2-run home run after he left the game to give them a 3-1 lead in his first start. He would get the victory in that game. Deals with Yonder Alonso, swings through a high fastball, 0-1. Alonso struck out his first time up. And in Verlander's last game, 8 innings of 1 hit shutout baseball, he had a total of 1 run to work with.
And where's this vaunted offense I've heard about?
Watching from afar, he's like, this is the best offense in baseball. He shows up and they're barely scoring runs for him.
Yeah, he keeps picking up the game notes and the stat sheets going, where are these guys? I want to see these guys.
I know they're in there. Plenty of time left, but a 1-0 game early as Alonso fouls one away. 0-2. Justin's allowed just 2 hits today. A little soft humpback line drive off the bat of Nelson Cruz in the last inning, and a solo home run by Ben Gamel 403 feet into the Astros bullpen. Swing and a miss. He gets Alonso for the 2nd time. Verlander up to 6 strikeouts in the game.
The Houston Astros have set up a website so that all fans can help raise much-needed funds for Hurricane Harvey relief. Visit ucaring.com/AstrosHarvey to donate today.
I'll bring up Mike Zunino. Astros have a very good opportunity to clinch at the earliest point of a season in franchise history. Today is game number 149. The previous mark for fewest games needed to clinch a division is 151 games by that 102-win 1998 Astros team. Anything today or in the next game on Tuesday, wrapping up a division at the earliest point in Astros franchise history. They've never led the division by this many games prior to this year, currently leading by 14. Swing and a miss to Zunino. It's 1-2. And he gets him. Verlander has struck out 3 in a row, and that's 7 strikeouts in the game.
Well, the punch out of Alonso gave Verlander 12 straight starts of at least 6 punch outs. Here's the 7th. That slider is coming right into form, and that's that firm one we were talking about at 88 miles an hour. Good look at release and late break. Again, when you're throwing that slider at 88, jumps out of your hand, it's tough to react to how the ball comes out of the pitcher's hand and then recognize spin and still be able to make some contact. Tough pitch.
The only guy that's been able to do some damage against Verlander is the guy at the plate now, Ben Gamel. He takes a called strike as Verlander pulls the string a little bit on him on the first pitch. Change up to start the at bat. Pitch away, it's 1-1.
Try to double up on the changeup.
Last 10 strikeout game for Justin came on August 4th. Game in Baltimore. He went 7 innings of 2-run baseball, struck out 10, did not walk a batter in that start. There's one over at the corner. It's 2-2.
All off speed to start this AB. Wonder if he's lulling Gamble to sleep to maybe bring the fastball in a 2-strike count. Also seen that slider very effective. Can he spot it down and in and get the swing over the top? Tried to.
Shot for that slider for the strikeout. Instead, the count's full. 14 pitch first, 16 in the second, 17 in the third, 14 more in the fourth. This next pitch will be the 13th pitch of the 5th inning. Third strike on the corner, throws him with a fastball for strikeout number 8. Verlander strikes out the side. It's driven by DeMontron RV and Blummer. We can see the road ahead and the finish line 2 weeks from today. Tomorrow, the final off day of the season.
It is upon us.
How about it?
And the second season starts.
4 games with Boston to wrap up the season. This homestand continues with the White Sox and the Angels. As it sits right now, plenty of time for things to shuffle. As it sits right now, the Astros would line up against the Red Sox in round 1 of the postseason. So a potential 9 straight games against the Red Sox.
That would be bizarre.
That would be bizarre. Team outside of your division. 2-0 the count to Yuli Gurriel. He hits the ball hard up the middle. That's a base hit. Astros with their 5th hit of the game, and they have their leadoff runner on for the 2nd straight inning.
Yeah, hopefully this plays out a little bit differently, pushing that runner across, but Yuli shooting that baseball right back up the middle. Good start for the Houston Astros. Be a little bit different in this sense, just so they have the top of the lineup turning over a little bit, hopefully with some guys on base.
We saw the pineapple earlier.
Pena was active today.
How's that going to play in a post-game celebration?
I'm not sure how LaPena is going to react to the champagne.
One of the many things to look forward to. Here's Derek Fisher. It's got to absorb water, you would think.
Well, I was just wondering, does it weigh it down or does it just increase the elevation?
Fisher with a nice game yesterday, batting with a runner on and nobody out. Julia?
I got a chance to catch up with Derek Fisher today. You know, the fun part about them being so close is that you try to find out where guys were the last time the Astros clinched or the last time they won a division. He told me he was 8 years old in 2001. probably at recess whenever they celebrated back then, which made us all feel old, right? But this last time when they celebrated, he was actually in the Fall League with J.D. Davis and A.J. Reed.
Deep to center field, Heredia back, gone! Derek Fisher, 2-run home run, straight away center, and the Astros have a 2-1 lead.
That made me tickly. Going fishing.
That was a big bass he caught. That thing was well struck.
Deep sea fishing.
He's starting to get it going. A couple of doubles yesterday. A ball off the batter's eye in straightaway center field today, and the Astros have their first lead of the game. Here's George Springer. Springer takes the pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Julia, you were saying?
Yeah, that was I just needed to stop and enjoy that with you guys there. But for Fisher, who was obviously in the Fall League and trying to work his way to the big league level when the Astros clinched and went and earned that wild card spot a couple of years ago. And he said, you know what, from all of this, I've learned that everything happens so fast. You think it's going to take you forever to get to the big leagues. And then all of a sudden you're here. And then you think it's going to take a while to win a division. All of a sudden I'm staring at one and I could be celebrating with these guys, with guys like Justin Verlander, Brian McCann. You can tell it's all happening very fast for him, but he's enjoying it every single moment. He's soaking it in and learning as much as he can.
Astros starting to put together some ABs as Springer singles to center field. This crowd starting to get revved up in a 2-1 lead. And the Mariners have some bullpen action going.
Speaking of things happening fast, if you are on a team that is young and is very good, you're going to find yourself with opportunities. Fisher is in that lineup today, and he got himself a fastball elevated up out over the plate. He said all year long, you got to elevate to celebrate. And he crushed that baseball.
We saw him hit 4 home runs relatively early in the season. Hadn't hit one since August 9th. And Blummer, frankly, we hadn't seen the at-bats lately that we had seen earlier in the year, but in the last 2 games, he has looked really solid.
There are adjustments to be made. The fans shaking the camera behind home plate on that view. But you break into the big leagues, and we saw great things. We saw strike zone command. We saw power going to the other field. The league adjusted to him, and now he's starting to round back up a little bit and make that adjustment to what teams are doing to him. It's always so nice when you get hanging fastballs at 89 up out over the plate. You can barrel those up pretty frequently if you're a big leaguer, and he is.
Here's Josh Reddick, 3 consecutive hits for the Astros. Reddick checks his swing and fouls one back.
Estimated 432. Ooh, 104 miles an hour off the bat.
432 is fresh to straightaway center field. Eric Fisher with 3 extra base hits in his last 6 ABs. Reddick 1 for 2 today. Springer diving back to first base. George got caught there trying to dive back, may have slipped, and making sure he's got the footing all set over at first base. Reddick around the bunt, takes it low. It's 1-1. 7 hits for the Astros. James Pazos warming up in the Mariners bullpen. First bullpen action of the day. There's the lefty. Reddick around the bunt and almost gets hit by that pitch. Fans don't like it as Moore missed way inside. It's 2-1.
Moore yanked that one. I wonder if it was because sometimes you'll see pitchers that don't want to see a guy bunt. They'll throw a pitch they're unable to bunt. That was a fastball intended to be outside, but yanked well to the inside.
Josh swings and sends one to left. Gamble towards the line, puts it away for out number 1. Reddick now 1 for 3. First out of the inning. That'll bring up Carlos Correa. We mentioned Derek Fisher hadn't hit a home run since August 9th. Carlos Correa spending time on the DL, still looking for his first home run after missing 42 games since July 8th prior to going on the DL. Two at bats in between without one. Carlos sitting at 20 on the year. Next RBI will be his 70th of the season. Fisher hitting his 5th home run of the year. He would have to go on quite a tear to help the Astros set a major league record. Everybody on the opening day roster other than Nori Aoki with at least 10 home runs. They've never had a higher number of hitters with 10+ home runs. Fisher would need 5 in the last 2 weeks. The way he's going, you never know. 0-1 the count to Carlos. Correa has popped up and flied to center. Moore worked out of the bullpen in his last appearance. Prior to that, a start against the Astros, 87 and 80 pitches in those last 2 appearances. So he's not really a guy that has thrown 100 pitches recently. That's why you see Pazos in the bullpen. Gonzalez and Beltran are due up next. A lot of times you will see managers go to a left-hander with those switch hitters due up.
That Marwin's had a couple of good ABs off Moore also, going the other way on him. But you're right about the splits between Marwin and Carlos Beltran.
One pitch is pop foul. 1-2 on Correa. Astros with a 2-1 lead on Derek Fisher's 2-run home run. Into center field, Heredia is there. Correa retired. And there's 2 outs in the 5th. Scott Service, the manager, is on the step of the dugout, and now he pops up. With Marwin due up, left-hander warming up the bullpen. Service is going to go to the lefty. We'll tell you about Pazos. Pazos coming into this game when we come back. Astros lead 2-1 in the 5th. 5th inning. The most popular way to follow the Astros postseason push is MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, video highlights, StatCast, news, and much more. Download MLB.com at bat today. A lot of signs here at Minute Maid Park, looking for a division clinching game for the first time since 2001. And the Mariners go to the bullpen in the 5th inning for the left-hander James Pazos.
Left-handers made 54 appearances on the season, throwing 51 2/3 innings, 63 punch-outs in that time. His average against lefties is $1.94, but as weird as it sounds, he's faced right-handed hitters 64.5% of the time he's been on the mound. This is a situation where he is in to turn around Marwin Gonzalez and Carlos Beltran. Fastball slider from James Pazos.
Marwin a double, also lined out to left against the starter Andrew Moore, who goes 4 2/3 innings. 7 hits, 2 runs allowed. He is responsible for Springer on first. Pitch away, it's 1-0. Marwin, who is a switch hitter, had the arm guard on the wrong elbow before that pitch. Pitching change, forgot to switch over the elbow guard.
It's helmets, it's bats, it's elbow guards, it's where do you put the thumb guard, the shin guards. You know, there's a lot going on for switch hitters.
Shin guard was changed, helmet was changed.
Not to mention the multiple personalities.
There goes Springer. Foul back to the screen. George bidding for his 6th stolen base of the year. Astros with 2 runs in the 5th inning. Facing the lefty out of the bullpen, James Pazos. Dan Altavilla warming up. He's a right-hander.
Marwin 235 on the season, right-handed. 250 in his career as a right-handed hitter.
Fastball away. It's 2-1. Pazos acquired from the Yankees in November by Seattle. Velo's been up a little bit as the season's gone along, averaging 96 miles an hour on the fastball, which he throws more than 3/4 of the time to right-hand hitters. George said one of his goals this year was to catch Jake Marisnick in steals. Unfortunately for Jake, he doesn't have a chance to add to his total. Sitting at 9 right now. Springer's at 5.
Better get going.
That ball's crushed deep to left field. Marwin Gonzalez gone. Home run. Astros lead this game 4-1.
He has been so clutch all year long for the Houston Astros. I know this piles onto a 2-0 lead they already have, but that is a clutch home run in a situation that the Astros needed to add. And he added in a big way with some 2-out lightning to left.
First teammate out of the dugout to greet him is Jose Altuve as Marwin gets a sunflower seed bath from Lance McCullers. Marwin hits a home run right-handed, just the 5th time this year, and gives himself 82 runs batted in to tie Josh Reddick for the team lead. Here's Carlos Beltran. Beltran takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0.
Big swing from Marwin, understanding the situation, sat on that heater and got it. Threw the barrel right through it, and he knew exactly what he was doing.
Marwin's first home run since August 20th against the A's Jarrell Cotton. Ground ball off the bat of Beltran on 2 hops. Seager has it. His play to first, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 5th. But 2-run home runs in the inning.
It started with the rookie, number 21, going big fly fishing.
It's Astros dog day. I had a dog parade. It's one of my favorite days of the season for sure. Look at these cuties. Well, Lance McCullers, whose foundation is all about helping animals, and this time they are selling these shirts right now. These are pretty cool. On his foundation's website, which is lancemccullersfoundation.org, and that money is going to help all the animals that were displaced during Hurricane Harvey. So that's his way of helping out those in need with the devastation that just came through about a month ago. And his wife Kara is out there at Section 101 today helping sell those shirts as they continue to raise money. But again, lancemccullersfoundation.org is where you can find that Hugh Strong shirt, guys.
Good stuff, Julia. Julia, I do have a question for you.
What you got?
Clinch Day and Dog Day. Could it get any better for you?
Everyone was saying clinch miss, and I was like, how do I put all of those together? Because it's just one incredible day at the ballpark.
This is like her best day ever.
I was supposed to be working, and the dog parade began. And so 20 minutes later, I'm still on the warning track taking pictures and petting everyone's puppies. Not working. Worth it.
We head to the 6th inning. Guillermo Heredia with a 3-1 count as Verlander faces him in the top of the order. Justin working with the most runs of support in any of his 3 starts as an Astro. Taking a 4-1 lead to the mound. And he pours that fastball over. Take all the way by Heredia. It's 3-2. Verlander started the inning with 74 pitches, allowing 2 hits and a run on a solo home run. Just missed at the knees outside. Close pitch for Heredia to take. He's a leadoff base runner. And the first walk issued by Verlander.
There's a lot of pitches in the zone that led to that walk.
Wow.
And not by minimal margins. There's a lot of baseball in the zone.
So, other than the third pitch, which was outside the zone, 3 of those in the zone were not called strikes. Huh?
Yeah, taking that hashtag earn it a little too far, I think. I think he did earn a couple more strikes in that AB.
Gene Segura takes a strike. Segura is flying to center and struck out. 2 2-run home runs. Derek Fisher, the rookie, hitting one to straightaway center field, and Marwin Gonzalez, batting right-handed, crushed one to left field. Verlander has attempted 6 steals this year. He's only been successful 1 time. On the ground foul. If Verlander wins his 3rd consecutive start, he'll become the 4th pitcher in club history to accomplish that feat. Pretty good company too. The Rocket Roger Clemens started his career 7-0. Randy Johnson and the Hall of Famer Robin Roberts also 3-0 to begin their Astros career. Pitch does not get a chase from Segura. It's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets some chase in there. Verlander picks up his 9th strikeout. And there's 1 away in the 6th.
Gosh, that is nasty at 87 miles an hour. It looks like it's going to be maybe a fastball in that outside corner, but just continues to run off the plate. Segura with no chance.
Three times this year, Verlander has struck out 10 or more. including a season-high 11 against Seattle at Safeco Field on June 21st. Breaking ball starts Haniger off with a strike.
It's a traditional curveball, but on our Mattress Firm Supermo, you can see the release on that slider. Creates a little red dot as far as the rotation coming in, but even anticipating that break, Segura had no match for it.
There's the curveball. It's 0-2.
This guy's impressive. Just watching what he punched out Segura on. Then you step into the box as Mitch Haniger and you see two nasty breaking balls. Less velocity, bigger break, and you're down 0-2, and now what?
Now you have no idea. Tries to get him to chase the fastball at 94.
Well, I was just say that's always the issue too, is he could ramp it up to 95, 96 miles an hour with the heater.
Verlander with 2 hits allowed in 5 1/3 innings thus far, on the heels of an 8-inning 1-hit performance against the Angels. Verlander struck out Ben Gamel to end the 5th inning. That was his 200th strikeout of the season. Tries to get Haniger chasing there. No swing, says Cuzzy. That one was close. Three and two.
Good pitch.
Not getting many of the corners or the low part. Runner on the move, swing and a miss. The throw is a little wide and into center field. And we're going to get interference at home plate. Heredia is out at second base. Inning over. Strikeout and interference to end the inning. Verlander has 10 strikeouts for the 4th time this year. And the Astros lead heading to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 4-1.
This will be a look back at it. Runner on the move, swing and miss. Falls over the plate, gets in the way of Brian McCann. Judgment call.
The 6th. This week on a brand new Astros Bases Loaded, the team discusses one of their favorite pastimes. Jeff Bagwell explains his iconic batting stance, and we take a look back at the dramatic pennant chase of 2001. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded, only on AT&T SportsNet. TK.
All right, Julia, thanks. The inning ended with an interference call at home plate, so it ended up being a double play with the strikeout.
The side angle we saw, I wasn't overly convinced. I always felt that there needed to be a little more contact, but with Haniger falling out over the plate, kind of gives the impression, in that late push from Brian McCann, gave the impression that Haniger was getting in the way.
I can understand why Scott Service was upset, though. We have seen.
Yes, absolutely.
We have seen that play before, not called. McCann's throw would end up in center field, so it would have been a runner on third base with 2 outs. Instead, it was inning over with the Astros leading 4-1 as Alex Bregman starts the 6th, facing the new pitcher, Dan Altavilla.
Astros have seen Dan Altavilla quite a bit. Young man throws hard out of that right arm. 1-1 record, 44 punch-outs in 39 2/3 innings. Fastball, power change, power slider.
Off his leg, Altavilla recovers, Bregman out. Nice play by the Mariners reliever.
Wear it.
That was a sharply hit ground ball off his right leg or shin area, I guess.
skate save and a mute. Let's take it, knock it down, throw him out to a whole other level.
Knew he had to rush and was able to complete the play for the first out. Altavilla, the second reliever used by the Mariners. James Pazos pitched a third of an inning, allowed a home run to Marwin Gonzalez. And here's Brian McCann. McCann has singled and lined to short. Another line drive and right to the shortstop again. This one on one hop. McCann's hit the ball hard all 3 times today. We're seeing better at bats the last week or two out of Brian McCann.
Yeah, he's done a good job of getting the foot down and throwing the barrel at it, squaring a couple baseballs up. How about tough luck, the first 2 hitters of this inning. Check out Brian, that knee's up. As soon as that foot gets down, the hands are back and ready to fire, and he unleashes on that fastball. Unfortunately, just poorly located right at Segura.
There is no doubt that Brian McCann was hurting even before he went on the DL. It wasn't like that just cropped up the last day. But he's the last person that will ever complain about anything bothering him. Now that we're seeing him healthy again, it's a little different swing at the plate. Here's Yuli Gurriel, 1 for 2, a single and a run scored his last time up.
Those veterans that have been around since those early 2000s won't complain too much. They know that being around that training room early on in their careers was frowned upon a little bit, so they've learned how to play through injuries and understanding what could keep them out of games and what they could fight through.
Inside to Yuli, it's 2-1.
But it's tough to fight when you've got a knee injury and you're back there squatting 150 times a game.
Most important thing for Justin Verlander, sure, he'd love to see McCann hit 3 home runs and 3 ABs, but most important thing for Justin is the work he does behind the plate today. So far, they've limited the Mariners to 2 hits and 1 run. 2-2 the count to Yuli. Did not agree with that call. Altavilla has given up a couple of sharply hit ground balls, but they have been right at fielders. Here's a chopper towards third. Seager sidearms and makes the play for the final out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Altavilla. We head to the 7th. It's 4-1 Astros.
Of today's Chevy Stroh poll. Thanks for voting. Thanks for following at AT&T SportsNet SW. Which Astros division title era is your all-time favorite? Ooh, this was close. 36% of the vote goes to 1986. Mike Scott throwing a no-hitter September 25th to clinch the NL West. Some iconic images we're watching, TK.
Yeah, I should say, look at the crowd behind him. It's amazing, the celebration. What a way to close things out.
Chick ball. Charlie Kerfeld in there on the action, but yeah, that was a pretty incredible way. A lot of fans that we interact with on social media and in person they always remember where they were at for that Mike Scott no-no.
And coming in close second in that Stroh poll was that incredible run of 3 straight years and 4 out of 5. Larry Dierker, 97, 98, 99. We head to the 7th inning. Astros lead at 4-1, looking for a first division title since 2001 as Cano fouls one away. Robbie Cano, Nelson Cruz, Kyle Seager, 3, 4, and 5, facing Justin Verlander for the 3rd time. As the inning started, Chris Davinsky warming up in the Astros bullpen.
Well, as if you needed any more understanding of how special it is to win a division title as a team. We got a chance to see the 97 team, Legends Weekend.
That ball's hit hard to center field and in front of George Springer for a base hit. 3rd hit of the game for the Mariners. And Cano on base for the first time.
Well, I imagine they're going to do the same thing for the 98 team, the 99 team, the 2001 team. And if these guys are able to pull it off and clinch that Western Division title, they're going to be back here visiting and remembering what a great season it's been.
We will always be remembered together for accomplishments as A.J. Hinch looks to get to the postseason for the 2nd time in 3 years. Already has the most wins as a manager with 90 wins, but 91 would be the sweetest to this point. Here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz a base hit and 2 at bats. On the ground, towards the hole. Nice play, Correa to second. The turn, double play! Yes, they did! Correa to Marwin to Yuli. 2 big outs.
Something a veteran like Justin Verlander can appreciate is the defense being played behind him. That was special.
That could have been a first and second or first and third situation with nobody out. Instead, bases cleared, 2 outs, and Astros fans can start counting down some outs here in a 4-1 game.
I'll tell you what, Altuve is a great second baseman and does a good job on the turn, but I love watching Marwin Gonzalez when he gets a hold of that ball and just unleashes the cannon on it. Such a unique turn.
Yeah, that is not a typical second baseman's arm.
Yeah. Normally you see guys try and be really quick on the exchange and get rid of that baseball. You can almost see Marwin secure the baseball and then just step on it with that throw to first.
Plummer, you know all so well it's a whole different ball game now when you know that runner coming down the line can't blow you up either.
Exactly. You can sit there a little bit longer. You don't have to have the fancy footwork. Just make sure that you get a foot on that base and secure the baseball to get that first out. And then you can hold your ground and not worry, like you said, about getting blown up.
2-0 the count to Seager. Verlander approaching 100 pitches. He's at 96. Justin has 10 strikeouts for the 4th time this year. He's in double digits for strikeouts, twice against Seattle. And he pours a strike in there with the breaking ball. It's 2-1. Seager, one of the strikeout victims, also has flied out to center field. Verlander has struck out everybody in this lineup with the exception of Nelson Cruz and Guillermo Heredia. Verlander as a rookie in 06 and again 8 years later in 2014 pitched the clinching game for the Tigers. Now trying to do so in his first start at home for the Houston Astros. In the air to center. Springer back. Playable. Reaches for the wall. Has room. And the Astros 6 outs away with a 4-1 lead. 7th inning stretch time. Fans here at Minute Maid Park enjoying the 7th inning stretch as we look at the game summary. Ben Gamel has the lone run scored for the Mariners with a solo home run against Justin Verlander in the 3rd. But 2 big 2-run home runs, Blummer, in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And those were game changers with Fisher and Margot.
Those were big. Need those big offensive outputs. It may not go down as that late clutch type situation, but I think considering the way this game is going and as well as Justin Verlander has been pitching, you needed to have that lightning bolt of runs, and they found it in Derek Fisher and Marwin Gonzalez. Let's do it again.
It's a good story with Justin Verlander coming over. If you were going to write a movie, you would have Verlander trying to pitch the clinching game in his first home start as an Astro. And he's been impressive today. 7 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Fisher will lead things off. And he will face a new arm for the Seattle Mariners. As the right-hander taking over here in the inning is Emilio Pagan. Pitch for a strike. Fisher 1 for 2 with that home run to straightaway center field off the batter's eye. Gave the Astros their first lead in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Pagan is the 3rd reliever for the Mariners. Pitch misses inside. It's 1-2. Pagan heavy on the fastball. especially to left-hand hitters. He throws it over 80% of the time. Occasional slider, occasional change to lefties. Also will throw that slider a little bit more to right-hand hitters. 26-year-old righty on in the 7th inning. Dan Altavilla pitched a 1-2-3-6. Mariners started the day 3.5 games behind Minnesota in the wild card picture. There's a called third strike. Fisher goes down looking. Join the Astros behind the scenes at Minute Maid Park with an Astros ballpark tour. The tour lets you check out areas like the broadcast booth, press box, dugouts, scoreboard control room, and much more. Visit astros.com/tours to book your tour today. Here's George Springer, single and a run scored his last time up. That's now 101 runs on the year for Springer. Back-to-back seasons with 100 runs scored. George last year with a career high 116. Fouls one off. It's 0-1. Springer with 4 hits and 3 walks in this series. This was a series that started Friday night after the Astros arrived in town around 6:30 in the morning after playing a night game in Anaheim. That was followed up by a day game Saturday. This is a team that was not well rested, but they have brought the energy this weekend.
It is incredible. It is a young team, but yeah, to bounce back as quick as they did after not having the kindest of schedules coming in here, they've done a great job of stepping it up, and it might be because they saw that finish line for them coming up to them so quickly. But what I love too is that in doing so, and what will hopefully be a champagne celebration at the end of this game today, is that I've forgotten about the Oakland A's series, and I sure hope they have. And they did a good job of getting that out of the system.
It's a long season. There are times in the season where you feel invincible. I think coming out of Seattle, having won 7 in a row, they felt on top of their game. Verlander and Maben had never lost a game. And then they go to Oakland, the team that's in last in the division, and they couldn't do anything right.
Yeah, it was insane.
Since then, they've won 4 out of 5 and are leading this 6th game. And a lot of smiles right now in the dugout. You're never quite as bad as you look during a tough stretch. And conversely, you're never quite as good as you look when things are going very well, too. You're usually somewhere in between. See the laughter through the dugout now. Carlos Beltran, Alex Cora. Verlander's day is probably over because he's talking to people.
That's a good point. He opens up a little bit.
He's a solitary figure every other shot we have of him.
Good grief. Speaking of opening up, the Pena. Wow.
I cannot wait to see. Oh, this ball's hit high in the air. He just got under it. Is it deep enough? Gamble all the way to the wall, and this ball is gone! George Springer has hit a home run, his 32nd of the year, and the Astros add to their lead. It's 5-1. That was in the air a long time. You weren't sure if it had enough juice. But Springer leaves the yard for the 32nd time this year.
Beautifully done. 79 RBIs now for George Springer. That'll make a shimmy.
Kind of fitting he hits a home run against Seattle. He started the year very first at bat of the season and set the tone for a team that has the most runs scored in baseball by hitting a home run. And then he walked the game off 2 nights later when the Astros were down to their final strike 2 different times in the inning and walked it off with an extra inning 3-run home run. So he has done some damage against Seattle this year. On the ground, right side. Cano just absolutely lets it eat him up. That was as routine as it gets. Instead, Reddick will reach on the error.
As crazy as that was, this was better. Tried to get that fastball inside, but at 94 on that inner third, George had an answer for it here at Minute Maid. Anywhere else, maybe not so much, but he picked the right spot to hit that ball out. The hit probability on that home run stood at 3%. But again, ballpark adjusted, it's 100% here.
You get the shimmy here with the Crawford boxes. Error on Cano. And here's Carlos Correa.
It was bizarre.
Correa has popped up and flied to center twice. If in fact Justin Verlander's day is done, which it appears it will, as he hears George Springer describe that high arcing home run, Chris Davinsky, Devo the Dragon, has been warming up. Big swing by Carlos. It's 1-1.
Well, there's the ex-ace of the Detroit Lions staff. Did you see what Brad Ausmus's team was doing today?
Yeah.
Matthew Boyd going 8 1/3, 8 2/3, no-hit baseball.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw the offense they scored.
Yeah, they had a no-hit bid going deep, and just because Brad was on that last division champion team here in Houston.
There you go.
Kind of fitting that his ace is here doing the job trying to clinch the game. Yet he was getting a really good pitching performance and some serious offense along with it.
Well, the Tigers were in danger of losing ground in the division and being in last place to the White Sox prior to that series. They have regained their footing, I guess, a little bit with a big 12-0 win today. Tim Anderson hit a changeup with 2 outs in the 9th.
There you go.
To break up the no-hitter.
Man.
Tigers now lead the White Sox by 2 games, trying to avoid the cellar.
That was the Tigers, not the Lions, with the 12 points.
Into center field, Correa bidding. Heredia back. Carlos Correa! He has gone yard to straightaway center field. And the Astros piling on. It's now 7-1. Correa's first home run since coming back from the DL. That's as big of a smile as we've seen for a while from Carlos.
Imagine you might see a couple of smiles on guys in that dugout seeing Carlos Correa go deep to center field.
Fisher, Marwin, Springer, Correa. 4 home runs in the game, accounting for all 7 runs. Here's Marwin, takes a called strike.
It really exemplifies what this Astros offense has done well for so long this season, is slug the baseball and not punch out. Only 2 punch outs on the night, or on the afternoon so far for the Astros to go with those 7 runs.
Correa, after missing over 5 weeks, first home run since July 8th in Toronto before the All-Star break. It's his 21st of the season, drives in his 70th and 71st run. Marwin with 2 RBIs in this game. He's up to 82. On the ground towards Cano. He fields this one, and there's 2 away.
Looking back at that Carlos Correa home run, he just missed a fastball previously in this AB, but this is center cut. And he knew it right off the bat that he squared that up nicely. We talked about that swing coming back into shape a little bit for Carlos Correa, but this is going to go a long way for this Astro offense and for Carlos. There's a couple of pitchers that like to see some offense.
420 feet to straightaway center. Here's Carlos Beltran.
106 off the bat of Carlos Correa.
There's that offense Justin Verlander heard about. Hadn't seen much of it in his starts until today.
And in the not so shocking department, it's the 7th inning and they scored 3 runs again.
There you go. 7th inning magic. Beltran down on the count 0-2. Carlos has popped up, flied out, and grounded out. Astros, with all this offense this year and still last in the major leagues in strikeouts, and following that trend today with 4 home runs. And Seattle pitching only has 2 strikeouts. Carlos stays alive. Astros with a 7-1 lead, 6 outs away from wrapping up the American League West and winning a division title for the first time in 16 years. Cleveland won today 3-2, so the Astros need a win to stay within a game and a half of the best record in the American League. Indians have now won 24 out of 25. Tells you a little something about what the Astros have done this year. They've won 24 out of 25 and only lead the Astros by a game and a half. George Springer's 32nd. Carlos Correa's 21st. Marwin Gonzalez hit his 22nd earlier. And Derek Fisher is 5th. Beltran goes down for the final out. We head to the 8th.
It's been a thunderous afternoon. A couple of home runs already, and then you get to see it from the big 2 in this lineup. George Springer off the top. And Carlos Correa backing him up, going deep to center field. Astros lead large. Game is presented to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It is Justin Verlander. 3rd start for the Houston Astros. 1st start here at Minute Maid Park, and it will be a memorable one. Went 7 innings strong. Scattered 3 hits. 1 earned run. 10 punch-outs. Very good evening. We saw the entire arsenal, fastball, curveball, slider, even a couple of changeups mixed in there. Came over here to pitch in some big games. He'll do it again, but tonight was a big start.
Chris Davinsky on for the 8th inning and gets the first pitch to be popped into right field off the bat of Yonder Alonso. 1 pitch, 1 out for Devo and the Astros, and the countdown is on. The Astros 5 outs away.
Devo's numbers on the season, making that 58th appearance. It's good to see Verlander, Keuchel, and some of these starters pitching strong. It's time for this bullpen now to start rounding into shape and finding their rhythm.
Here's Mike Zunino. There's a called strike. Mentioned Verlander's line. He now has gone 21 innings, allowing 2 runs on a couple of solo home runs. One by Kyle Seager his first start, and one by Ben Gamble today. That's a 0.86 ERA in his first 3 starts with the Astros. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Welcome to Houston, Justin Verlander. Zunino has struck out twice. Verlander struck out 10 today. 4th time this year he has struck out 10 or more, 1 off his season high. Devo ahead of the count 1-2. Saying Devo and ahead of the count is a beautiful thing because that sets up his circle of death changeup. That time a fastball blows it by Zunino. Picks up a strikeout. The Astros 4 outs away.
The last Dollar Dog Night is right around the corner. Grab all the Dollar Dogs you can eat during Wednesday's game against the White Sox. Get your tickets for Dollar Dog Wednesday by visiting Astros.com/DollarDogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
A Fly ball to right and a 4-pitch strikeout of Zunino. Now Davinsky goes to work on Ben Gamble. Starts him off with a fastball to knee. Strike one. Chop foul. Davinsky ahead, 0-2. Fans now 30,000 plus cheering on Davinsky, looking for a strikeout to end the 8th. Change up, grounded towards first. Yuli will flip it to Davinsky. 3 outs away, and the Astros lead 7-1. SportsNet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Toyota. Let's go places. The place people at Minute Maid Park want to go is to an AL West Division title. And they are 3 outs away with the Astros leading 7-1 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. New pitcher on for the Mariners is the left-hander Marco Gonzalez. He was acquired earlier this season in July from St. Louis. And he'll face Alex Bregman, Brian McCann, and Yuli Gurriel. Gonzalez takes over as the 4th reliever for Scott Servais. 9 games overall, mostly as a starter. Just the 2nd time out of the bullpen. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum, Julia Morales. Make sure to stay with us after the game for our post-game celebration. With a 7-1 lead, the Astros 3 outs away from wrapping up the AL West. Bregman appearing in the postseason last with Lancaster at the minor league level in 2015. Has singled in 3 at-bats.
I'm sure this translates pretty easily for him. Looking like a single-A championship to a Western Division title.
Few of those guys, Blummer. Derek Fisher, Alex Bregman, J.D. Davis were all on that 2015 Lancaster team, but you're right. This is a whole new set of circumstances here.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a credit to the Houston Astros, too. This is what they're trying to nurture, is that winning mentality and getting these young guys to play together for a long time and be able to do it at this level.
Plummer, you are down on field level now. You got down there in a hurry, so you can absorb the energy from this dugout. I'm sure it is buzzing right now.
Yeah, since I've started broadcasting, this is the first time I've been down here on the field, and you can feel it. You can see it in their eyes. There's a certain level of excitement, and I miss it.
Plummer down in the well that Julia normally occupies. Good to see you down there, buddy.
Yeah, it's a little bit different view from down here. I like it field level, but you are in the line of fire down here.
Julia also with us, getting ready for post-game interviews. We will have wall-to-wall coverage if the Astros close out this 7-1 lead. Brian McCann, the batter, takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. 1980 and 1986, the Astros were National League West champions. 97, 98, 99, and 2001. They won the NL Central, but no division titles since 01. Wild card appearances in 04, 05, and 15. These guys are ready to celebrate a great 2017 season. McCann down in the count 1-2. Even though it's not a save situation, a guy who's been closing out games all year long is warming up in the bullpen. A.J. Hinch wants his closer, Ken Giles, to get the final out of a clinching game.
Tell you what, you want to enjoy the joy of having nervous feelings. There's nothing like knowing you're about to clinch a ball game and counting down those outs. I applaud the fact that A.J. has a guy like Ken Giles out there warming up. He deserves to be out there if and when these guys clinch this Western Division.
McCann grounds out for the 2nd out. That'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. Yuli still in his rookie season, even though he debuted last year. But the Pina has never been tested with a post-game celebration. Want a full report from you guys, Blummer, Julia?
Oh, I'm sure you'll get it. We're going to have plenty of opportunity.
Line drive, right center field. Gurriel with an extra base hit to the wall. Yuli with his 37th double of the year. A two-out base runner for the Astros. He's 2 for 4.
Seen it all year long from Yuli. Doing a very good job going up the middle the other way, not giving away ABs. We've also seen him be very aggressive early in counts. Fastball down, just drops the head and goes with it. Delaying the top of the 9th inning for his own good, raking another double.
Altuve leading the cheers along with Carlos Correa. Jose not playing today, but he has been on the top step of the dugout almost the entire game. There's a pitch down and away to Derek Fisher. It's 1-0. Fisher a 2-run home run in 3 at-bats. Hit one to straightaway center off the batter's eye.
Talk about depth on this Astros team. Got the potential MVP sitting on the bench in a clinching game, and they put up 7 runs more.
Fisher to left field. Gurriel will go to third and be held there. Derek Fisher with back-to-back 2-hit games going the other way. Good to see for a guy who's trying to make a postseason roster.
Really is. It seems like that double last night really opened things up for Derek Fisher. But having Altuve on that bench, it's interesting that Altuve right now is talking to Marwin Gonzalez. Altuve is going to possibly win the MVP voting in the American League, yet if you voted in this dugout as far as MVPs on this team, would Marwin get any votes?
What a year. And you talked about it earlier in the game, Blummer. So many clutch home runs.
Yeah, he has been there when the Astros have needed him.
Speaking of clutch home runs, Springer started out this season with 9 leadoff home runs the first 3 months of this season, including one to start the year against the Mariners, facing King Felix Hernandez. Takes a strike, it's 1-1. George hitting his 32nd home run of the year. His last time up, he has 2 hits, 2 runs scored, and RBI number 79 on the year. Count is 2-1. Astros took over first place by themselves in game 11 of the season. That was April 14th. They have never trailed since. Rian won the count.
He won't do it again, will he?
He might. That ball was towering that last home run. Just didn't know if he got under it too much, and it found its way into the first row of the Crawford boxes. All 4, and the bases will be loaded. Why not? With the guy who's hit better at home than anybody in baseball, Josh Reddick. Other than Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies, Josh Reddick, the best batting average in baseball at home here at Minute Maid Park. And now he's got the bases filled. Birthday wish about to come true. Kind of fitting, Blummer, that Reddick gets the bat here in the final at-bat of a clinching game against the lefty, because that's where he has done so much damage.
And that's what I was thinking about, too. He got the opportunity with A.J. Hinch to be in that lineup against left-handed pitching. And the reason he is hitting .315 on the season is because he has the ability to hit so well against these left-handed pitchers.
Reddick did hit a grand slam earlier this year in Atlanta right before the All-Star break. checked his swing, and now he's down to the count 0-2. Yuli Gurriel at third base, Derek Fisher at second, and George Springer at first. Reddick appeared in the playoffs three times with the A's, 2012, 13, and 14. And then last year, after being traded from Oakland, appeared with the LA Dodgers. So he's looking to be in the postseason for the 5th time in the last 6 years. And he goes down swinging here in the final at bat of this one, possibly. It's 7-1 Astros. We are through 8 innings. Astros leave the bases loaded, but the bigger story is that the Astros are 3 outs away from wrapping up their first division title since 2001. Julia, I know you are getting ready for the postseason and post-game celebration. Getting in as a wild card is one thing, but division champs we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, and these guys know what's at stake, and they know how long it's been for this organization. And a lot of these guys talking about just how young they were the last time the Astros clinched a division title. And it's something that will be extremely special for many different ways. It'll mean something different to every one of these guys who are at different points in their careers, starting from some of the younger guys like Derek Fisher, who I mentioned earlier, who's just really excited to be in this position so early in his career. It feels like it's all kind of happening fast for him. And then you look at guys like Cam Maben, who worked really hard his entire career, but has not been in the postseason just yet. He's played with some great teams. He's played with some great players, but to all of a sudden find himself in a position to where he could be going to a World Series, maybe if all things work out, really gets him going. And Carlos Beltran, who is older, but says this never gets old. The fact that you are on a team that is good enough to compete in the playoffs is something that he finds very important. And for him to, every year that he goes back, every team that he's on, he takes something from it. And this one, he's definitely happy to be a part of. But this clubhouse, a very excited one. We talked to Colin McHugh before today's game, who said, it's been really hard. We've had to focus on the games at hand, on the teams that we're playing, but this is, as it's inched closer and closer, the excitement does start to build. However, it's been an extremely special season. Getting to 90 wins was big for them as well. He said, so at the same time, we want to be able to enjoy all of this as it is playing out right here in front of our eyes. Todd?
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to hear from a lot of different personalities who have blended to be as close of a group as possible during this 2017 season. Brad Peacock, one of those guys who was on that 111-loss team in 2013, along with Keuchel and Altuve and Warwick.
Hey, don't forget Julia and I.
You guys started out with a rough year.
Just saying, we got to see the uprising of these young men to this point.
Daniel Vogelbach will be the first batter that Ken Giles faces. Giles, in a 6-run game, starts out Vogelbach with a fastball at 99 miles an hour, strike one. Julia mentioned some of the veterans who have been to the postseason before. Verlander, McCann, Beltran, all appearing in their 6th postseason. Francisco Liriano will be in for the 5th different year and his 4th different team. Most of this roster appearing for the 2nd time, including the 2015 wild card team. But some, like she mentioned, Cameron Maben, 11th season, never before played in the postseason. 2-1 the count to Vogelbach. Tony Kemp, also in his 2nd year, looking for his first major league postseason celebration. Foul tip, it's 2-2. 2-2 pitch, foul tip. First out of the ninth, Astros 2 outs away.
2 more.
Today, the Astros looking to clinch in the fewest games in franchise history. The previous best was 151 games. The Astros today playing game number 149. Trying to win their 91st game. Pitch outside to Segura. It's 1-0. 100 miles Giles. Levinsky with a 1-2-3-8. 1-1. Is there any doubt that Jose Altuve will be the first one out of that dugout?
Yeah, he may be sitting on the top rail before he tries to jump out there. But it's tough to stand on this infield or outfield if you're a player and not move. There's just that energy starting to pulse through you right now.
Bare hand, throw! Not in time as Gurriel was off the bag. Bregman, who has played spectacular defense the last couple of months, almost made a great play on Segura. Instead, it's an infield hit.
It's a tough play. You're playing back. Ball is slowly hit. He did a heck of a job on the bare hand pickup, but in the follow through just held on a little bit too tight, creating that high throw to Yuli. It was actually a heads up play by Yuli to go after the baseball and not try and stay on the base. Keep Segura in that double play situation.
Here's Mitch Haniger. He has popped up, fly to right, and struck out. Here's Justin Verlander's 10th strikeout of the game. Verlander for 7 innings. Chris Davinsky for the 8th. And now Ken Giles trying to wrap things up in the 9th. One. $30,000 plus. Home for now, but 1 out away from rising to their feet. A little pop up. That's going to fall in for a hit. Reddick will play it on a hop. Haniger didn't hit it hard, but found space in shallow right. Back-to-back hits for the Mariners.
Just delaying the inevitable.
Giles will have to face Robinson Cano.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, is that you work into these situations where you've got base runners on and now you have to go through the meat of the order, or you could look at it in the sense that if you're going to earn this Western Division title, you have to go through the best the Seattle Mariners have to offer.
Giles in his 4th season has never appeared in the postseason. Out of play. You know, 1 for 3 today. Center field, falling quickly. That's going to be a base hit. Segura had to hold up to make sure the ball would drop, but now he's almost caught at third base. 3 consecutive hits for the Mariners, who are not going quietly in the ninth, as they have the bases loaded with 1 out.
Not sure where Segura was going. From down here after that base hit by Robinson Cano, you see him hesitate. Manny Acta was holding him up, but Alex Bregman not in a good position to make that tag.
That was the first hit for Cano in his career against Giles. He's now 1 for 7. Giles will face Nelson Cruz. Strikeout to start the inning, now 3 consecutive hits. There's a strike.
As much as the Astros understand the situation, you know that the Seattle Mariners understand it too. They are going to fight till the bitter end. It's good to see Ken Giles throwing strikes, though, making them earn their way on.
On top of that slider, Cruz down on the count 0-2.
Back-to-back good pitches in a bases-loaded situation.
He got him. Got him with a slider. Out number 2. The Astros are 1 out away from a division championship.
Sit back and enjoy it, Houston. You don't get too many opportunities like this, and the fans here are recognizing it by standing up and enjoying it.
Six times in Astros history they have won a division. None since 2001. Strike 1. In the air. Who wants it? Correa. And for the first time in 16 years, the Astros are division champs. First division title in the American League 7th overall in Houston Astros franchise history. Jose Altuve, a division champion, and the possibility of an MVP season all in the same year.
You can almost see the relief in their faces. They battled long, they battled hard, they took a huge lead in this division before the All-Star break and earned the right to put those T-shirts on. Welcome to the club, Justin Verlander, earning that clinching division win.
The shirts are out. AL West Division champions. Houston strong. It's been quite the last few weeks here in Houston, Texas. And the Astros get to celebrate with the city a division title. Julia?
Thanks, Todd. With Carlos Correa. Carlos, did you feel this day coming together when you walked in the clubhouse today? Did you know it was going to be special?
Yeah, of course. We had Justin in the mound today, so we knew we had a great shot. The lineup, did a great job today. We scored a lot of runs, and he kept us in the game. Only one run, 9 innings. It was a great game.
You guys had to wait a little bit longer than maybe you wanted to, but you're doing it right here on your home field in front of your home fans. Can you describe what everyone's feeling right now?
It means a lot to bring a lot of happiness to the city of Houston after everything they've been through. So this is the beginning. We're striving for more. Hopefully we can get it done.
Todd.
All right, Julia. Celebration is on as the fans acknowledge the players and the players acknowledge the fans right back. Quite a scene down there, Blummer.
It really is. You see the hugs. It's not a subdued championship. These guys are just under control and understand what's ahead of them. They appreciate the fact that they fought as long as they have to earn the right to put those T-shirts on. They understand that this city has been through a lot, and they just brought them a championship.
Back to Julia.
Hey, with Justin Verlander, there's 3-0 since being a Houston Astro. Congrats on today, by the way. Fans giving them some love on the big screen right here. It's the second time they've done that for you, but you got to debut right here at home. What a special day, starting with that, ending with claiming a division title.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, to be able to make my home debut in this situation, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, this is what you dream of as a kid. Obviously you dream of the World Series titles, and that's one of the reasons I came here, but man, I can't ask for any more than this. These fans have been unbelievable. I'm the new guy. My teammates have been unbelievable. I can't tell you how exciting this is for me.
I can imagine the anxiety, just the thrill of what today was all about as it was finishing up there. You got to see your team come out with some great offense today. What do you think of the game?
I mean, it's a great game. I mean, that's the way you draw it up. You don't ever expect too many runs early. If it is, it's a bonus. But our guys were able to keep it tight. I was able to keep it tight. Had great defense behind me, and then our boys did what they do. They swing the bat and they score runs. So it's only a matter of time.
Just the beginning for you and the Astros. I know they're making their way around the state. I'm going to let you go join them. Thanks a lot, Justin. It's JV. Todd, over to you.
All right, Julia, Justin Verlander in his 6th postseason, his first with the Astros, gets the start and clinches a postseason berth for the 3rd time in his career. George Springer, who else? The leadoff man is leading the charges around the stadium as the Astros will take a lap on the warning track and celebrate with the Minute Maid Park crowd.
Why wouldn't it be George Springer? Like you said, he is the leadoff man of this ball club. He has been a force out in the outfield, but he's also been a leader in this community. We saw the trucks being shipped from Connecticut to help out Harvey Relief, but he has also been a leader in the community. He has been upfront about his charity to help kids who have that stuttering issue, but there has not been a person on this team more vocal than George Springer about his appreciation about being an Astro, being a part of the city, and wanting to win for these fans.
The entire Astros team doing a lap around the field. Right behind Springer is Josh Reddick.
I've got to be honest, Todd. I'm impressed that they're out here enjoying it with the fans, because I thought for sure they'd be up underneath popping that bottle of champagne. So it gives you an idea how the community and a ball club can kind of rally around each other and come together for a good cause.
Springer now at the Crawford boxes where he put one out today. Altuve enjoying the moment with Davinsky. They're about to come around to the left field side where all these fans await to slap hands with their heroes.
This is going to be a long night of partying for these people and this team. I don't know if you saw it, Todd, but there's a Jake Marisnick sighting out there, and there's a cast on his right arm, but that cast has been fully enveloped in plastic, ready for the celebration.
I saw the team reaction when he came out. It was pretty special.
He deserves to be here. He deserves to be a part of this celebration. He had a major part in what they brought to this city at this moment.
Career year for Jake. Career year for Marwin. Another home run today for Marwin. George Springer has made his way all the way around to the Astros dugout. And it appears they are going to be heading to the clubhouse. We are going to have full coverage for you from the clubhouse. We'll also gather interviews from the field if they come back out at some point. Not many of the 30,000 have left as we revisit Ken Giles' final out to wrap up the 2017 AL West Division. Correa and Marwin converged. It was Correa who made the catch, and the celebration was on.
That is something nobody will ever be able to take away from this group of guys. 2017 American League West Division champs. Forever remembered, forever together.
Reddick, McCann, Verlander, three of the veterans from three different organizations coming over. Cameron Maben right in the middle there. First postseason berth. Ken Giles will pitch in the postseason for the first time.
Well, we talked about it earlier during the broadcast that there are guys on this ball club who endured 100 lost seasons, and now they get to reap the benefits of sticking around and working hard. There are also guys that are in that clubhouse and on this team right now celebrating a division championship who have been fighting to get back since 2015. They felt that they left a little bit more on the table in 2015. They want to get back there. Now is their opportunity to not redeem themselves, but to maybe and hopefully extend the season a little bit further than they had in 2015.
Plummer, they took over the lead April 11th in the AL West. They extended it to 10 games by Memorial Day weekend, and they never looked back. They kept that double-digit lead up, and it was not as smooth post All-Star break as it was leading into the All-Star break, but they never let anybody back in the chase.
Well, you know what? Guys are going to get hurt. You're going to go in slumps. You're going to fumble a little bit, but one thing that stayed steady, I think, was the resolve of these guys, and we saw it throughout the course of the season. That's the reason they scored so many runs from the 7th inning on. That's why they scored so many runs from the second with 2 outs in innings. They are relentless. The resolve was there. They were battling. They continued to fight. A lot of credit needs to be given to the coaching staff. A.J. Hinch, being the leader of that coaching staff, had complete confidence in these guys throughout the course of the season. He willed them to win. They had the mentality, and I'm sure he's telling them right now how much he loves them and how much more work there is to be done.
A.J. Hinch making a speech to his team. The champagne is about to be flowing. Families now heading out on the field. Justin Verlander's family, Kate Upton right in the middle there, taking pictures after this celebration. The owner, Jim Crane, is out there.
You know what's interesting, Todd, is guys rounded the field. They were going back in, and one of the last guys to go around that outfield circle was Justin Verlander before he is going in. He came out here and gave a nice firm handshake and a hug to the owner, Jim Crane.
There you see Jim on the left side of your screen. They earned it this year. No doubt about it. This was a team from the very beginning. The owner, Jim Crane, wife, Whitney.
Well, that was his goal. His goal was to come here and turn these guys into a champion. He has done that. Jeff Luhnow, the GM, making the appropriate moves to get the right guys in place. But Jim Crane is one of the guys. You talk about testing patience. Jim Crane's an ex-ball player. He wants to go out there and win. He wants to go out there and compete. He had to be patient too early on as Jeff Luhnow put this ball club together.
Well, Blummer, it's time for you to start heading to the clubhouse. We're going to hear that speech that A.J. Hinch just gave to his team, exclusive coverage of that, and all the celebration to follow. Blummer and Julia in the clubhouse. We'll hear from A.J. Hinch right around the corner.